Halo teman-teman IDN Times, perkenalkan saya Rehia Sebayang, jurnalis untuk IDN Times. Pagi ini saya akan membawakan acara Ambassador Talk, dan kali ini saya akan berbincang dengan Duta Besar Finlandia untuk Indonesia, Mr. Jari Sinkari. Please welcome Mr. Jari. Oke, jadi di sini saya akan jelaskan dulu sedikit mengenai Ambassador Talk. Jadi Ambassador Talk itu adalah acara rutin di IDN Times di mana kita biasa berbincang-bincang dengan duta besar dari Indonesia untuk perwakilan di luar negeri atau sebaliknya dari luar negeri untuk Indonesia. Biasanya kita akan membahas berbagai topik mulai dari tentang hubungan bilateral kedua negara, hubungan mengenai pendidikan, perdagangan, dan lain sebagainya. Jadi pagi ini saya akan berbincang-bincang dengan Mr. Jari Sinkari yang merupakan Duta Besar Finlandia untuk Indonesia. Beliau menjabat sebagai Duta Besar sejak 2018 dan telah tinggal di Indonesia sejak saat itu. Oke, saya rasa kita bisa mulai sekarang. Jadi jika ada... Oke, kita mulai sekarang saja, langsung kepada Mr. Dubes Jari Sinkari. Good morning, Mr. Ambassador.
Good morning. Selamat pagi.
Okay, how are you today?
I'm fine. I'm fine. It's a little bit rainy day in Jakarta.
Yeah.
All is fine. Yes.
Okay. That's good to hear you're in a good condition because it's the pandemic in Indonesia. You know that the situation is not quite good in here in Indonesia. Okay, let's restart to the first conversation. But first of all, do you speak Bahasa Indonesia?
Well, I speak sedikit, so I take lessons, and I just recently installed this Duolingo apps to my phone. So I'm advancing slowly but steadily.
Okay, that's not. Maybe I can mix Bahasa Indonesia with English in our conversation.
English would be better.
Okay. Okay, so as I told you before, that our topic will be related to the bilateral relation between Indonesia and Finlandia. So we'll begin first with a question about the relation between Indonesia. I read that the diplomatic relation between the two countries was established in September 1945. I mean 1954. Right.
54.
Yeah, 54. So it's 67 years already. Indonesia and Finlandia in a relationship.
Yeah. Or if you want to be really precise, it's in September this year. It will be the 67th.
Yes.
Now we're still having the 66th year, but that's we have had friendly relations for a long time. So that's the basic idea.
So could you please elaborate to us how is the relation going this far?
So the relations are very very good. I would say that that at the beginning, I mean at the focus, I mean the core of our relations is economic relations. We are very very happy that there are quite a few Finnish companies that are interested in Indonesian markets, and we have been happy to witness that Indonesian track record for more than 20 years, this approximately 5% of GDP growth. So that has been a very good. And then then there's one topic that I always want to say, that there's one thing that connects us, that Finnish people are the heaviest coffee drinkers in the world. We consume approximately 10 kilograms 10 kilograms of coffee per capita, and Indonesia provides very good coffee. So there's a good trade link in that in that sense. On political level, the relationship is also very good. I think that the maybe the most tangible thing has been it's related to Aceh peace process. Finland as a country was not directly involved, but we were facilitating, and the real facilitator was our ex-president Martti Ahtisaari, who was involved in the peace talks. But that created a lot of goodwill on political level, also towards Finland in Indonesia. And I've been surprised that I still meet quite regularly people who have been in a way or another involved in either in the peace process or in the aftermath of the peace process.
Okay, that's nice. Okay, let's talk more deep in relation of the trade and economic. Could you elaborate how much or how big the trade have to country had this far?
Yeah, so according to our customs figures, the volume, the overall volume in 2019 was about 400 million,
400 million
euros. So in dollars, it would be something like 430 million dollars. And the Finnish export to Indonesia was about 2020 million, and then from the Indonesian export to Finland was about 170 million euros, and Indonesia export grew by 7% to Finland. And then if you kind of like break down what are the products, the Finland exports quite a few machinery products, and then also some paper products. And then Indonesian export to Finland, there's some clothes, footwear, and then some raw materials, and then of course coffee. Coffee is one of the
biggest export from Indonesia.
Yes, but I must say that for example, for the Finnish economy, Indonesia, it's much more important than the trade figures show, because quite a lot of this, there are quite a few Finnish companies that are involved in Indonesia, and some of their products are coming from other countries than from Finland. For example, they have production sites in China, and then the products are coming to Indonesia. So I feel that it's the economic relationship is much more important than the figures say, and then that also in the future I see that Indonesia is more and more important for Finland, and I would say that vice versa. There are quite a few interesting aspects in Finnish economy as well.
So is there any target that the board of the country have right now to increase the trade and investment maybe?
There are no. Well, we are not tracking that, but I believe our president of Republic visited Indonesia in 2015, and when he was having a dialogue with President Joko Widodo, I think that they mentioned that at certain years it would be good if the trade would kind of like double. And I would say that we are on the good track, but we are not like measuring it every year or making some kind of like memoranda of that. We are, both of our economies are free, and in a way that that it's up to the companies to make the deals. Of course, we on the official side, we are facilitating the interaction of the companies, but at the end of the day, it is about the companies to find the deals themselves.
Okay, that's good. And it's about economy. It's related much to workers. So, do you know how many percentage of Indonesian worker working in Finland and vice versa?
That I believe that they are not too many. For example, most of the Finnish companies that are here, they employ Indonesian workers. So our estimate is that it's about 2,000 Indonesian people who are working for the Finland owned or Finland based companies. And then the figures, how many Indonesians are in Finland working, that I must say that I really don't know. I would say that not more than couple of thousand. I would assume. Then I could maybe say a couple of words about the tourism, because the Finnish, of course, everybody knows Bali, but Bali is still getting traction, more and more traction in Finland. That people are interested in Bali, and then also some other parts of Indonesia. And by the way, the Indonesian embassy in Finland has been very active in promoting the travel destinations in Indonesia. I mean, for the Finnish audience. So that every year there's normal year the biggest tourism trade show of the Nordic countries takes place in Finland, and Indonesian embassy in Helsinki has been very actively involved in this trade show.
Okay, about the tourism in Finlandia, we know that Finlandia is a beautiful country with many beautiful places to visit, and you know that the audience mostly is millennial. So, how could you please explain how is the beauty of Finlandia, so that maybe more Indonesian come to Finland?
Yeah, I think that, well, you can see from my background picture, I tried to choose the most exotic picture that my colleagues could find. And this is from the northern Finland. And then the specialty of Finnish nature, I mean the Finnish, I could say the Finnish nature compared to the Indonesian one is that we have the very clear 4 seasons. That we have the winter that is behind me, the snowy winter. Then we have the springtime, and then the summer, and then the autumn. So you really can experience the change of the seasons. And we have a large archipelago, also like Indonesia has. And we have many lakes. So Finland is known for the lakes. And then in northern Finland, you have the reindeers, and then the winter exotics. There are a lot of possibilities to do winter sports, to the husky sledging and motor sledging, and then ice fishing. And then one of the catches are the so-called northern lights, the aurora borealis. So when I speak with the Indonesians, normally they know 2 things about Finland. One is the quality of education system, and the second thing is the winter exotics with the aurora borealis. There are quite a few Indonesians who have thought that seeing the aurora borealis is on their bucket list. They want to see at least once in their lifetime.
Yeah, that's quite interesting, because aurora borealis is very pretty, and I myself want to see that. If I have the chance, I will do that. So you mentioned about education system in Finland. We will talk more about that later. But first, we'll talk about this pandemic in Finlandia. I know that Finland is one of a country where people are safest and happiest live there in Finlandia. So could you please explain to us how is the government doing with the pandemic in Finlandia?
Yeah, for the international comparison, we are doing rather fine, and our government was very active at the beginning. It imposed a 2-month long lockdown, and schools and restaurants were closed, and unnecessary travel to and from the region around the capital Helsinki was prohibited. And this lockdown helped slow down the spread of the virus. And then we have applied this tracking and tracing functions, so that have been kind of like the cornerstones of the Finnish COVID strategy. And then also there have been quite popular app in our smartphones. It's called Corona Flash, and we are about 5.5 million people in the country, and 2.5 million have downloaded this app. So it's large enough to really to function as a tool to warn you if you have been if you haven't encountered a person who have been at risk. And then also the trust for them. I mean, in our society, there's quite a lot of trust to the authorities. So that has helped also, that people, when the government is saying something, people are mostly obeying, and they are not so much. I mean, there's no opposition to the harsh, quite harsh preventive measures. Of course, some of the businesses have been affected more than the others, and then it's natural that from these businesses there have been some criticism. And then one thing concerning the physical distancing, and that Finnish people are known that they are not very that when they walk, for example, that they keep the distance when they walk together, even in normal times. So maybe that has helped to cope with the situation. Now the figures, I just checked them, that we have about 40,000 who have had it, and about 600 who have deceased. And for the moment, there are 140 people in the hospitals and 24 in intensive care. So the figures are quite small if you compare them internationally.
Yes. Okay. So about the vaccination, has Finland started the vaccination, and how is the progress?
Yeah, the vaccination has started. If I remember correctly, about 50,000 people have been vaccinated so far. And the people, of course, they would like to. I mean, the normal people are anxious to get it as fast as possible. My own mother, she's 83 years old, and we just discussed over Skype during the weekend, and then she's also very eager to get it. And yet, just yesterday, she got a message that she just has to wait, but she knows that she will have it. So that kind of information gives trust. But of course, it could be faster, because there's a I think everywhere in the world there is this feeling that no matter what, but the people that want to have it fast and safely.
So let's move to the education topic. So as we mentioned before, that we all know that Finland has the best education system in the world, one of country that has the best education system. So what actually the government have done to make Finland has the best system in the world?
I think that if you really kind of like cut it to the bone, or boil it down, it's dealing with the good quality of our teachers. That the Finnish teachers are well educated, and then the system gives them trust in a way that the teachers, they can be creative. That it's a system that doesn't concentrate on evaluation or supervising the teachers or the education system, but it gives a certain amount of freedom for the headmasters for the schools and for the teachers. And in our case, the schools are kind of like in the domain of the communes, so they kind of like locally they are under the local administration. And then we have had a long track record in incorporating science, technology, and innovations. For example, the teacher education is all the time interacting with the research, so that the research results are trickling down quite rapidly to the teachers, so that they are on the forefront of this research on education. Yeah, okay. Please go ahead.
Okay, so we know that as one of the best country with the best education system, I mean, there must be many people, many students come from all around the world. So do you know how many actually students studying in the Finland from other countries?
Yeah. Well, I asked my staff to find the record for the Indonesia, how many Indonesian students are studying at Finnish universities, and it's about 100 persons every year. So it's not a very big amount, but we have had a series of webinars lately, trying to promote the Finnish higher education for Indonesian students. So they have been quite popular. So it looks like that the interest is growing. And then for the other side, I mean, that how many Finns are studying in Indonesia, we don't have the numbers. Probably some dozens of persons, and mainly in exchange program. So no, not really for the up to the bachelor's or master's degree.
Okay. Okay.
But we are also in the future. We are increasing this cooperation. One of the things that we would like to kind of like formalize would be to have a working group on the ministry level, not ministerial level, but ministry level between the Ministry of Education of Indonesia and Ministry of Education of Finland. So we are working for that. There's already understanding in or decision in principle that this kind of working group will be set up, but we are now working on to make it really operational.
Okay, it's quite interesting to know about this topic. It's about scholarship. Yes, we know that scholarship is one way to help Indonesian students to study abroad. So is a Finland government give many scholarship for foreign students?
That's by the way the basic question that is repeated in all the webinars what we have had. Where can we apply for the government sponsored scholarship? So in Finland the system is that every university and every university of applied science, they have their own scholarship system. So we don't have this kind of like a centralized system. So the idea is that the student first has to, of course, to find out what is the subject that he or she is interested in, then find the University of Applied Sciences, and then apply, and then at the same time when they apply also for the scholarship program. In most cases, the scholarship covers the cost of the study program, not so much of the living costs. But what I have learned from those Indonesians who have studied in Finland, they've been quite happy in the way, because there's one particularity in the Finnish system, that when you get the residence permit for studies, that allows you to work for approximately 25 hours per week. And that has been a catch because it has been quite easy for the foreign students to find kind of like extra work. So they've been able to finance their living, or at least to improve their living by working. But it's definitely, this is the question what you asked is the core question that we have had by many times by Indonesian potential students coming to Finland.
Okay, so from your explanation, I got this question. So, is there any plan from the government to centralize the scholarship information, maybe, so it will be easier for students to find out about it?
Yeah, there have been internal debate in Finland about it for quite some time. Of course, it would make it easier, but so far we are dealing with the existing system, that it's every university of applied science has their own own thing.
Okay, so about the students and the COVID-19 pandemic in the Finlandia, how is the pandemic affected the students from a foreign country, and is there any steps that the government takes, like maybe in the US, like last years, that the foreign students have to come back to their country like that?
No, we haven't had that kind of that kind of a policy. But then at the universities and universities of applied sciences, they have been quite active in changing the mode to the distant learning. We for the basic studies, I mean, for the kids between 7 and 16 years and 18 years, it has been a government priority. Try to keep them open. They were closed a couple of months in springtime, but then quite soon after all, they were opened. And then the idea behind is that it's very important for the future of the school children to have access to quality teaching, and that has been the policy. But at the universities, they have been. I mean, it's basically the distant learning for the moment. My own daughter is at the university, and I've exchanged information with her, and then she has told me that, for example, in her case, most of the studies, they are distant studies. But then, of course, if you talk overall situation, like for example the younger children, that it's not easy. Like I know that in Indonesia the schools have been mostly closed for 7 to 8 months already, and of course there's this question of that how well off the family is, how many smartphones, how many laptops they have. So these kind of issues have been also that these are important things also in Finland. But I imagine that and I know that in Indonesia this is a serious issue.
Okay, so about the funding, is there any funding that the government has rolled out for helping the students in the country?
For the COVID specific things, I don't think so. I think that that we have a good welfare system, so we have not built additional packages for the education sector. At least that is my understanding. I will send you an email if I'm wrong with that.
Yes, thank you.
But I think that most of the that there have been support for companies, for example, that have that have been affected, and then some yeah, I think that has been the case. And then of course there have been like more people unemployed, so the unemployment schemes are I mean, they have been bigger, the schemes, than I mean, there have been more customers to the unemployment scheme than normally, but basically I think that it works as before in principle.
Okay, we know that the education system in Finland is one of the best in the world. But is there any action that Finland government take to encourage people in Finland to study outside the country, especially to Indonesia?
There's no special program for Indonesia, but our student support system takes into consideration that if the student is studying abroad, then he or she is allowed to have a little bit more of support, monthly support, and then he or she can take a little bit more loan. We call it like a study loan that is guaranteed by the government. So in that sense, the government encourages, and then the Finnish students to go abroad. And then in Europe, it's very popular. There's this called Erasmus or Erasmus Plus exchange program that is supported by our government. And then it's also applicable to Indonesian universities as well.
Okay, okay. Back to Indonesia and Finland relation. So, in your opinion, what do you think about Indonesia as a partner for Finlandia?
It's very positive, because I think that history is on your side. I mean, future is on your side. That Indonesia is a big country already. The population is very young. There are a lot of possibilities. And when you think also about the big issues around that are important for the future of the globe, like green, tapping to green energy and circular economy. So I think that the more we interact with Indonesia for the common benefit, it is good for Indonesia, it's good for Finland, it's good for European Union, and then it's good for the world and humankind. And for example, I forgot to mention at the beginning when you asked about the relations, bilateral relations, that it started. I mean, the forestry exchange on forestry expertise was probably the longest, has been the longest standing exchange of between Finland and Indonesia. So, yeah, so that's one, the future of the forests, and then how to use the forest sustainably, how to get rid of the plastics, and there are quite a few Finnish companies that are involved, and of course we are facilitating that interaction. And I see this as a on a kind of like a global scale, that Indonesia definitely is it's more and more important, the role of Indonesia. And then the more we can do a fruitful cooperation, the better it is for everyone.
So is there any plan that the both of the country has in this topic? I mean, in the climate topic.
We have, for example, we are now, or we are now renewing a memorandum of understanding concerning the energy cooperation. So that has been one of very concrete thing that was signed. That the previous one was signed when our president was here, 2015, and now we are working on for the next one. And then the idea of that would be to how to promote a green and renewable energy, and how to exchange the expertise in a good way. So that is one thing. And then, yeah, so you asked about this climate thing. So I would say that would be one thing. And then one thing that was a Finnish initiative. It was kind of like a global, not kind of, but really a global initiative that we were initiators in so-called finance ministers global network on climate issues. And the reason behind is that the finance ministers, they are in the key position when for the moment, for example, when we try to build back better and greener from this slump that the COVID-19 has caused us. So the idea is that how to find measures that would be most sustainable ones. And then the idea of this finance ministers global network is to compare notes among the finance ministers. And Indonesia is part of that global network, and I'm very happy about that. So that has been one concrete issue that Finland has initiated.
Okay, so actually we have talked about the answered question, but I have this one question before we end this section. So from 2018 to now, how do you feel about living in Indonesia, especially in Jakarta? Do you like the country, the foods, and anything about Indonesia?
Yeah, I like it a lot. I think that I came, by the way, I came from Hong Kong, and when I told my Hong Kong friends that I will be ambassador to Indonesia, so everybody, I mean, there are quite a lot of interaction between Hong Kong and Jakarta and Indonesia, and then everybody said that, oh, the traffic is really congested, and oh yeah, you're gonna stay so much in your car. Well, I came. It was the last day of the Asian Games, and I'd learned that quite a lot of streets were improved for the games, and then it was imposed this register plate system that you have the odd numbers and even numbers. So it has been much better the traffic than I expected, and then people are really friendly. I mean, I think that is the common. The common understanding of every foreigner coming to Indonesia, that you're particularly friendly people, like to smile and joke, and then make friends, and that has been a pleasure. And then the food is excellent, and coffee for a heavy coffee drinker coming from Finland, it's also a pleasure to have the very good quality coffee. Then of course with this COVID-19 situation, the situation is tough, but it's tough for everybody in Indonesia and most parts of the world. So you can't really include that feeling to the package concerning Indonesia. Then one thing that is a little bit frustrating, I feel like a bear close to the honeypot, that there are so many interesting destinations to see as a tourist in Indonesia, and then this COVID situation has I've been quite careful, so I've been very much residence bound in this months, but that would be one of the pleasures of being in Indonesia, to see how versatile this country is by the population, and by the sceneries, and by nature, and there's so many things that Indonesia can offer.
So before the COVID-19 spread, is there any places that have you visited so far in Indonesia?
Well, that's kind of like a typical thing that I visited I have visited Bali quite a few times, and then the idea was that when the my second year is in full swing, I would start looking other parts of the of, of Indonesia. But then COVID came, and I cut my plans. Not really. So there are so many things to see. Yeah.
Okay, so do you have any suggestion to the government of Indonesia about how we can change our rules, maybe to attract more tourists from Finlandia? Because as you said, there's quite a few people come to Indonesia actually from outside.
Yeah, I think that the basic idea of this, that making these 10 other Balis, I've forgotten the exact name for that, but the idea is that to introduce other destinations for foreigners. I think that is a good good idea. And then the Indonesian food and culture and dance. I think that the Indonesian embassies are around the world. They are focusing more energy on that. And then also it's this. I think that one aspect is this ear to ear, mouth to ear. But for example, my own daughter came. She had a gap year before she studied the university, and she traveled in Southeast Asia, and then Indonesia was one of the. I was not yet here, but she liked very much. So I think that the knowledge of Indonesia is growing also. That there's this kind of like a organic growth of interest, that there are people who share their good experiences. And then one thing is that Indonesia is well, of course, you have the risk of the natural disaster. That's another question. But it's safe. It's you if you compare the size of the population and then the rate of, for example, the pickpocketing, and it's very very minimal. So that kind of things, that the beauty combined with the safety. So I think that there's a good appeal.
Okay, so last but not least, do you have any suggestion or message for Indonesian millennials, especially about anything?
Yeah, we have had this series of webinars where we targeted to the Indonesian millennials, and then also for the researchers that consider Finland, that our universities and Universities of Applied Sciences offer about, was it 300 or 400 courses in English, so you don't have to learn Finnish to come to study to Finland. Our society is aging, and then we need talent from abroad, and we have created this kind of like the program that is called Talent Boost, and we are encouraging the prospective students and then prospective researchers to consider to come to Finland. So that is, so come as a student, come as a researcher, or come as a tourist when the tourism flows are allowed again.
Okay. So thank you so much. I think it's at the end of our session today. It's very nice to talk about with you about any topics related to this. But I hope to talk to you again soon about many other topics that we haven't touched in this session. Thank you so much, Mr. Jari, Sinkari. I'm Reyes Bayang. Thank you for coming to this interview, and hope to meet you again soon.
Okay, terima kasih banyak.
Terima kasih.
Dan sampai jumpa.
Sampai jumpa.